What's up, everybody? It's your favorite police officer's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the New Age Legendary Heroes Harry. I have a sit-down Saturday coming somewhat about this stuff that I'm gonna have to get the tinfoil hat out for. I know that excites some people, it excites me. But this guy does come with some accessories. Let's take a look. He comes with two of these things. They're like his rocket launchers. Sculpted nice enough, and then the tips are painted silver, so to speak, so that's a pleasant surprise. And you can have them tabbed into the side piece here, that the head flap, which forms the front of the hood on both sides. And he comes with his signature gun, sculpted nice enough, very Prowl-esque, no paint on it. But he holds it fine, just fine. So let's talk about the figure. The head is on a ball peg, as you can see. You get ridiculous up, a little bit down, the swivel and so forth. It's fine. You got gray paint, I think. No, that might be gray plastic. No, it looks like that was cut off a sprue and painted gray. I can't tell. And you have metallic blue eyes and then red crests. So that's all done fairly well for a Legends. Blue paint there on the hood. Gold paint there on the hood. Black paint, silver paint. That's a lot of paint asked for a Legends figure. The wings, you have the police symbol on the side and the black paint added. And you get some swivel up and down on the wings for a little bit of expression, which is nice. Ball pegs for the shoulders, and the shoulders are connected to a hinge inside of the chest. Using both, you can get the arm all the way up and around. Bicep swivels at the elbow, which I think is fine. The elbow itself is actually a double hinged elbow because it's a ball peg and it's connected at a hinge at the bicep, getting you a pretty great range. Without the gun, you get the full run. Wrist, nothing, but you do get a hinge down slightly for transformation, but I think we should give them credit. Silver paint at the abdomen, two paint tones there at the crotch. It's like a light, I guess it's supposed to be a white, but it almost looks bluish, and then a red. These hip flaps, do they move out of the way? Because you never know. Doesn't look like it. T-jointed ball joints for hips. You don't need the hip flaps to get out of the way. That gets you the full Van Damme and the full Monty. They are a little loose, so be mindful of that. Thigh swivel, that works fine at a cut joint. The knees are double jointed for the full run. The bottom legs, you have a metallic blue for the windows, yellow and red paint, black paint on the bottom, silver paint on the wheels. Very nicely done. Ankle tilt down. Maybe this, I don't know if that's a little bit up or not. If it is, it's not really worth mentioning. And a rocker. So a pretty well done figure. There he is from the back. Looks pretty sharp. There is a, I'm not going to say big problem, but there is, let's call it a little problem. Let's talk about it. Size comparison wise, I know people get upset with my size comparisons with Legend stuff, but I just don't have any stuff to compare. I actually have one more today, but we'll get there in a second. I want to point out just how little this guy is and how frustrating that is. So he's slightly smaller than the Iron Factory old scale, which they no longer really subscribe to. Significantly smaller than a Hasbro Legend, which a lot of companies kind of are on par or using as a standard. What this means is that this is the first full-size bot, not a little bot like Bumblebee, that New Age has done, and they're going for a significantly smaller scale. So you might not be able to use a fair amount of them with your Legends collection. And I imagine that's extremely frustrating. Let me give you a second look. There he is with Iron Factory Megatron, which we'll be looking at very soon. Once again, I think size is going to be an issue here. It's pretty much its own scale. They're starting anew. So either you're in for this scale or you're going to have to hunt and peck for select pieces that fit in with your current Legends collection. And that's a call only you can make. Let's get him transformed. Turn the hips around 180. Pull the head back. Pull the backpack down. Bring the hood up. Bring the roof down. Bring these little tabs down on the back of the legs. You can peg the legs together. It's a little hard for me, a big-handed gentleman, to work this once you get it down. This can be a little tricky here, honestly. You want to fold this and collapse it, obviously, and you want to bend this just the right way so that you kind of combine towards the legs down and this forms flush. If you don't bend it just right, it won't form upright. It's easy enough to figure out. We can flip these windows out now while we're at it. And I think we can go ahead and collapse them as well. At this point, you can hide the head by spinning it 180. You want to turn at the bicep so that you can't see the ball peg anymore. Tuck the hands in as far as they'll go, and then rotate the entire shoulder assembly around so that it forms the underside of the car. And this takes a little bit of cleaning up, but I'll get it cleaned up so we don't have to waste time, and we'll take a look at it. And there it is. Rolls like a champ. I love the metallic blue, really pops through. The black accents there, the headlights, all of it. I think it's really well done. Clean on the bottom for the most part. It's extremely sharp. My only issue with this guy is the scale. Like, that would really infuriate me if I was collecting this stuff. But I'm not, so maybe I don't have a fair gripe. But yeah, I think it's really well done. And let's look at Tiger Tracks. It's just a little cop car. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than, you know, I wish it was a little bit bigger and it'd probably be perfect. Final thoughts wise for the negatives, it's quite simple, but it's extremely subjective. I don't like that they're going for their own scale. There's a lot of third-party companies making Legends class figures. It would really be beneficial to a lot of collectors if this was a company that was trying to get involved to lighten the load and allow collectors more options and possibilities to finish off their shelves or their collections. But because of the scale, it's pretty much going to be a brand new collection. And I would imagine that that's fairly frustrating for people that are interested in this line. At least it would be for me. Objectively, though, the one criticism I have is that the ball pegs are a little bit loose in the hips, something that I imagine will only get worse over time. Not necessarily a deal breaker, but something worth pointing out. Positives-wise, other than those two gripes, it's pretty much perfect. I love the articulation, I love the engineering, I love the sculpt, there's tons of paint, the accessories make sense, like very, very, very smart, very, very, very well done. I think that's almost what makes the size issue a bigger deal, because I think most people would love to have this for their Prowl, and I don't think a lot of people will be happy with how he fits in. Now, to be fair, I don't have a whole lot of Legends figures, so I can't really place them side by side, but looking at them seems like a problematic situation. But if you want something fun for your desk, or you like cop cars, or you like Prowl, you'll be happy with it. So it's definitely a recommend as long as you're okay with the size. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.